Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first discussion question of week 6. Great question, talking about characteristics of effective leaders. And I think I've mentioned before in this class that I think from a management perspective, the 4 functions of management, it is leadership that is probably the most challenging, most difficult, at least from my perspective, of the management functions to find competent people for. So I find that interesting. And I should actually add, parenthetically, while we're having our discussion this week, got this delicious apple cake, which I'm actually going to eat while we have our discussion. So that's kind of, like my personal touch. Like if we're in an actual classroom setting, you would be sharing this with me. But, sadly, just me today. So, anyway, talking about effective leaders and characteristics of leaders. And really, what a lot of people will focus on, strategically, you kind of start with political leaders, historical leaders, people you have found over the years to be great leaders, and people who have been able to, transmit whatever vision, and some of the characteristics of leaders. And we talk about charismatic leadership a lot in business. One of the great challenges of that, of course, is charisma cannot be learned. It's a personal trait. You either have it or you don't. And organizations that are led by charismatic leaders often run the great challenge of what do they do once the charismatic leader is gone. Personal characteristics of and leadership is fascinating because it is both positive and negative. There have been historically tremendously negative leaders in business and in politics and in many aspects of life. So, what is it about somebody that makes them an effective leader? Are there personality traits, quirks, whatever, that make someone a great leader? I probably will post a link a little bit later this week in some of the discussions to some of these leadership assessment tests. And what qualities do you possess that may or may not contribute to leadership? Historically, I think one of the most important things an effective leader needs to be able to do is to communicate vision. It is the vision that allows other people within the organization to buy in and to generate a high degree of what I would term institutional organizational commitment. So I think that's an important aspect of it. And I don't know that some people will tell you that there are certain personality traits that effective leaders may or may not have. The challenge is, can personality traits be taught? My hunch is I think they can be enhanced if you have them, but I don't know if you can actually teach somebody to be, you can teach them to be a better leader, probably. Can you teach them to be a great leader? I don't know. I think that historically has been one of the great challenges. Certain people, and maybe then trait theory does have some merit, that there are personality traits, be it communication, be it charisma, be it organizational skills, whatever, that allow some people to be more effective leaders than others. So again, that should be an interesting aspect of our discussion this week, and I look forward to your insights.